Virtusa was committed to doing what was right. We are committed to taking accountability and responsibility for our environmental, social, and governance footprint. We do so by enabling our customers, our investors, our team members, and our supply chains to have a purpose with a passion for people and planet. Virtusa invested significantly in information security compliance and standards to be at the top world-class levels. If you go back to pre-COVID, Virtusa was able to muster its entire workforce within 3 weeks to be 100% work from home because we had invested in the technology and opportunities to respond to them. Virtusa is a truly global multinational company. We have a workforce of about 30,000 plus. We operate in 49 plus locations and growing. If we really look to how Virtusa has been, we were built on its core values of passion, innovation, respect, and leadership. With that, Virtusa was committed to doing what was right. So we are committed to taking accountability and responsibility for our environmental, social, and governance footprint. We do so by enabling our customers, our investors, our team members, and our supply chains to have a purpose with a passion for people and planet. In that context, we have ensured that we build in the processes required, be true to our word and our commitments in making a positive impact in these areas. We have a framework. And the idea being is we don't want to be a part of the problem, but we want to be contributing to a part of the solution. The world is today in peril with what we would call the VUCA world or the perfect storm. Virtusa strategically sees sustainability or ESG as taking accountability and responsibility to be the perfect ship to sail the perfect storm, with sustainability as one of the great pieces of armor that we can have to conquer these very complex, challenging situations. ESG we see as inward looking and is a part of sustainability, which is the social responsibility and all those other aspects. But what is most important, its strategic importance is it's about optimization. It's about reducing your commitments, your resource consumption, being able to move from a me and a now kind of company to us and a later, future-proofing yourselves, because the challenges are ever-changing. And we know that. The important piece is how are we responding to those challenges? Today, in this complex world, we see multiple things that are changing at a rapid pace, from AI to technology to green skills. And I would say AI and green skills are the two essential lubricants for any organization or any profession to have. It's not that you cannot do without the other professions, but you need to have these skills. And we see innovation and creativity is a demand. The businesses and investors are demanding to be able to hit the perfect storm at speed and at scale. And in order to do that, you need a cycle of continuous innovation, because the solutions we build today, unlike previously, doesn't last forever. It's probably a one-off solution. So what we are doing is making sure that we build the processes, the capabilities to have the cycle of continuous innovation as a part of business as usual. So technology comes in multiple ways. So if we build a banking application and we give it to a client, and the client has now 1 million customers who now don't need to commute from home to the bank or to the teller machine, that has a great social impact, time benefits, and multiple things. That's one example. Secondly is technology enables optimization. So wherever there is optimization, there is a consumption reduction, which has a benefit on social and economic. For example, Virtusa invested significantly in information security compliance and standards to be at the top world-class levels. Why would we do that? Because today, and if you go back to pre-COVID, Virtusa was able to muster its entire workforce within 3 weeks to be 100% work from home because we had invested in the technology and opportunities to respond to that. With work from home, it brings another strategic importance, diversity and inclusion. The digital world, the internet, is void of geographical and political boundaries. And it enables us to bring diversity to the next level. It's diversity, people normally see it as just gender. But it's not only gender, it's diversity of culture, diversity of education, diversity of skills, diversity of thinking, diversity of age, values. And with our global workforce, we can harness world-class, best-in-class, most suitable talent to come into the workforce to solve some of the most complex problems. And when you bring diversity from different ways, you get a 360 view of a complex problem. And now you bring all these resources together to harness them to a collective purpose-driven approach of solving a problem. So that is why it's strategically important to be responsible, to have inclusion with diversity in solving these strategic matters. Virtusa has a sustainability framework, and this comes into environment, health and safety, information security, anti-bribery corruption, and a plethora of other things that we will have. So why do we have this? So this framework is built in a manner that is relevant to what our industry's footprint is. So for example, we will ensure that we are moving towards transitioning from fossil fuel to non-fossil fuel consumption. We are looking at moving to renewable energies. We are committed to investing in science-based targets initiatives. We have already submitted. We are waiting validation. Virtusa holds a CDP rating, Carbon Disclosure Project rating of a A-, which is within the top 13th percentile in the world. We also have an EcoVadis, which is Environment, Social and Governance rating of a gold standard, which is the top 2 percentile of the world of companies that are reporting. We have anti-bribery corruption and all these, which is a holistic view of making Virtusa a responsible company and a supply chain to any of our customers, and a responsible company that our investors are comfortable to invest in. The common question is, what does sustainability mean? What does a sustainability officer do? What is his or her responsibilities? Is to ensure that we take the ESG sustainability knowledge and benefits to each and every function. So for example, we'll have the accounting, finance folks talking about TCFD, SASB reporting and understanding that. We will have the legal counsel talking about code of conduct with HR, looking at anti-bribery corruption and other norms of policy against sexual harassment, policies against business and human rights, modern day slavery, those aspects. We will have the IT working on strategies to move high energy consuming technologies from on-prem data centers to the cloud. Virtusa has transitioned all its internal applications to the cloud, which reduces our energy consumption, it reduces our environmental footprint. Plus, it's profitable to do that because it's the right business decision. So we encompass all these things interwoven into a holistic way of making the company future-proof and purpose-driven. Virtusa, from its inception, has been a company that takes accountability and responsibility. We don't shy away from it. So today we have all those initiatives that have been taken in account of being responsible to the communities and the societies we serve in. So for example, in Sri Lanka, Virtusa at its very inception, when the tsunami hit, built an application supported called Sahana. It was given free of charge. It was open source. Today, Sahana has a foundation of its own and it's being deployed in other countries. We don't even own it, but we built it and gave it as a community-driven project. That's in Sri Lanka. We have done other projects of lake restoration, mangrove restorations in Sri Lanka. We have worked on providing school children with resources and services. In addition, we have also focused on our technology aspects. So when it came to ending of the war in Sri Lanka, Virtusa built a rehabilitation management system that won an accolade with the UN Global Compact as one of the 15 best case studies of businesses advancing for peace. This was in 2011, I believe. All these are pro bono. Today, recently we helped biodiversity about responsible plastic producers and accounting for those requirements. So consistently, we believe in taking accountability and responsibility, especially in the expertise of technology that we have, to to create a positive impact on the communities and the societies that we serve. People all over the world are suffering from adverse weather conditions, and these have social, economic, business impacts. And we found that the past instruments that governments and established bodies have used has failed us. So the demand we see is what I would term as the 7 Ps, which is public-private partnership with a purpose and passion for people and planet. Now, how does this work in practice? And that is why when you take COP28, the decision making was the transition from fossil fuel to renewable energies. So companies need to be forward looking in being compliant. The transition to being inclusive with diversity and inclusion, leave no one behind, access to affordable renewable energy. So keeping a few of those, and there are 17 SDGs that are there. Virtusa has subscribed as a member of UN Global Compact in operations. We serve on the board in the local network. And the commitment is to transition these. We are moving our transportation systems to systematically move away from fossil fuel. We are looking at moving our energy consumption from fossil fuel generating energy to renewable energies. On the social front, we are looking at inclusion and diversity being brought in. We are tracking the numbers. That's why we have multiple geographies that we can bring people in to work and give them opportunities to do that. And overarchingly, it's about governance. Today, if you take some of the examples there, we have water stress. There was a time in the recent news where the chip manufacturers were struggling and unable to produce things due to water scarcity. There are cities today struggling and our workforces. So people are going to have challenges and being sustainable and driving it through our supply chains as much as our customers want us to be in alignment to their values. So I believe it's about our values and ensuring that we deliver. Today, we have the 1.5 degrees challenge, 2030. And we are already, the world is missing this target. So there is an imperative drive to make a commitment to be the change we want to see. We want people to move from a me and a now mindset to being an us and a later thinking of the future generations. We owe it to the generations to come. There is a famous saying that we have inherited the planet from our future generations and we need to give it back to them in a better way than we got it. In that light, the commitment has to be tangible, measurable, and Virtusa is making that. Our science-based targets, commitment to net zero, our commitment to diversity, inclusion, making sure that there is good governance, policies against anti-bribery, corruption, information security, intellectual property. All these are values that are being demonstrated to make a positive impact on the environment, on the communities and the societies we serve, as well as with good governance overarching this.